Welcome back to my channel, everyone. I'm Jay, owner and lead instructor at From the Ashes Firearms and Training. And this is part 2 of my little mini-series on the fundamentals of shooting. And today we're going to be talking about grip. I'm going to be using my full-size M&P. This is my home setup currently, and it's just a little bit of a bigger firearm so that you guys can hopefully see a little bit better on camera here. Okay, so we're going to jump right into it. We're going to start off with our master grip. We're using our strong hand. I'm right-handed, so my strong hand is my right hand. Obviously, if you're left-handed, you can take everything that I'm saying today and just apply it to the opposite side for you guys. Okay, so starting off with our primary grip, our master grip. What we like to do is, the first step is we want to take this meaty part here. If you make a V between your thumb and your trigger finger here, and right in the middle of this V, this meaty part here, we want to get up as high as we can underneath the tongue on the back strap here. Okay, up high, high, high. What we're trying to accomplish here is to get as high as we can to the action of the firearm. The slide is where all the action is. So the higher we can get to the action, the easier it's going to be to control the firearm. If we're sitting down even a quarter of an inch lower, it's a lot harder to control. All right, you can see even here, I'm holding this pretty tight here, and it's still kind of bending backwards. But if I get up really high under that tongue, huge difference. Okay, so meaty part in between your thumb and your trigger finger, up as high underneath the tongue as you can. And we're going to index our trigger finger. Indexing means putting your trigger finger on the frame of the gun. You don't ever want to put your trigger finger on the trigger until you are ready to shoot. And for today's purposes, we are not ready to shoot, so my trigger finger will be on the frame for this entire video. This is something you guys really need to practice, muscle memory here. Always, always, always trigger finger on the frame until you are ready to shoot. Practice that. And then you're simply going to wrap your 3 fingers around the grip, like so. The last part of this is to take your thumb, and we want to flag our thumb straight up. And that's making room for our secondary hand. This is important. We don't want to get used to putting our thumb down on the frame, because when you go to marry your secondary hand to your grip, it's going to get in the way and it's going to mess up your grip. Okay, so get used to your master grip when you're holding the firearm with one hand, having your thumb flag straight up. Super important. That's the master grip, guys. Okay, the second part of this is your secondary hand, and what we're looking for is a high grip. High grips are essential to being accurate and, more importantly, being consistent with follow-through, sending follow-up rounds downrange. If you have a really good high grip, you'll be able to control the firearm much better, and you'll have less movement with your grip, and you'll see that you'll be able to become super consistent with follow-up rounds. So the easiest way I find to teach getting into a high grip is like this. So with our master grip, we're going to go ahead and hold the firearm out in front of us. We're going to take our secondary hand, and we're going to take our 4 fingers with our thumb pointed straight up and point those straight to the ground. As far as you can. Obviously it's not going to be straight down, but what we're looking for is having our thumb aligned with our wrist, our forearm, our bicep, all the way back to our shoulder. Okay, that's kind of what we're looking for there. Alright, so take your 4 fingers and point them straight down. You do this next to your firearm out in front of you. 4 fingers, point them straight down. Then you're going to take your thumb and you're going to put it on the frame of the gun, up as high as you can, as close to the slide as possible. Okay, high grip. So thumb on the frame as high as you can without actually being on the slide, just like that. And then you're going to take your hand and you're going to pull it back until it meets your other hand. And what we're trying to accomplish here is to get this portion of your hand to fit right into this beachfront real estate here on the gun. Okay? High grip, slide that in, and you feel that part of your hand fit right into this slot here. Okay? Then you wrap your fingers around the other side, and then you take your thumb that's already flagged up, and you're going to drop it right over your wrist here. And we're not looking for this. We're not looking for your thumb to be up against the slide. We're looking for it to be over here, out of the way, so that you're not hitting the slide and you're letting this do what it's supposed to do as you're firing your firearm. Okay, so fingers straight down on the frame, slide back into position, wrap your fingers around, thumb over the wrist. Just like that, guys. Now you can see here, again, my thumb, my hand, my wrist, my forearm, bicep, all the way back to my shoulder is actually parallel with the frame and the slide of the gun. That's high grip. That's key for recoil management and being accurate, and more importantly, being consistent with your accuracy. High grip. Alright, and then the last part of the grip, guys, and now I'm going to be facing the camera. Again, there's nobody behind my camera. This is very safe, and you aren't actually here, so I am not actually pointing the gun at you. With our nice high grip, the last part of this is to take your secondary elbow and just roll that up. Just like that. We're not using our shoulder to roll the elbow. We want to keep our shoulders down and roll that elbow up. And you can see the firearm tilt ever so slightly. What we're doing, guys, is creating a vise right at the top of the frame, right underneath the slide, again where all the action is. We're creating a vise, and having pressure at the top of the frame here is where your control comes from. It's important to understand that we're not squeezing the grip of the firearm. You actually want a pretty loose grip. You want all your pressure to be at the top of the slide, controlling your firearm, just like that. And you'll see that you can hold this position for a very long time. My muzzle's not shaking. I have really good sight alignment without any changes. Okay? Nice high grip underneath the tongue. Fingers around the grip. Trigger finger on the frame. Flag your thumb way up. Secondary thumb on the frame as high as you can underneath the slide. Back that up into your other hand. Wrap your fingers around. Thumb comes over the wrist. And then roll that elbow up. And you can see, especially from this position, you can see me lock in that firearm with that vise right underneath the slide. Alright, that's it, guys. That's pretty much it for grip. Something you definitely have to practice over and over and over again, and when you do, make sure you're using the same grip over and over and creating that muscle memory so that when you go to grab onto your firearm, it's going to be the same thing every single time. I didn't always use this high grip. When I started 16 years ago, my grip was a lot lower. I was taught by an instructor who used to teach police departments, and back then they didn't really use that high grip. But since this has become more popular, I've changed my grip, and I've noticed a significant increase in accuracy and consistency with my accuracy. So really strong grip, guys. Easy to get into, and you'll see, for you guys that have been shooting for a little while, if you change this grip, you'll see your shooting improve. And for those of you that are new to this, start with this grip, get used to it, and you'll see your accuracy and your consistency quicker than you would if you started with something a little different. Alright? Hope this video was good for you guys, and next week we're going to be talking about the third fundamental of shooting, which is aiming. I'm going to be doing some different angles with the camera to hopefully help you guys see and understand what we're talking about when we talk about sight alignment and sight picture. Alright? Like, comment, share down below, and make sure you subscribe and toggle notifications to all so you get all of my videos. Be ready, train smart.